My name is Mollie Sommer. Welcome to my podcast. I believe that we are all inherently seeking to express ourselves, and that our voice is the connector that brings us all together. This podcast is my way of sharing that power of connection, bringing us together to learn, grow, laugh, and be the best versions of ourselves. Each week, I will share my stories and lessons around spirituality, energy, manifestation, money, mindset, and of course, business. Along the way, there will also be some amazing guests to uplift and inspire you to live your life full out, to embrace your gifts, and to celebrate your uniqueness, reminding you that you are never alone. So sit back, bring your hands and feet inside the car, and enjoy the ride. Welcome to the show. Hello and welcome to this week's Mollie Sommer Show. Welcome to 2024. I'm really excited to be back and ready to share this year. I'm really looking forward to the amazing guests and all of the amazing conversations that we have scheduled and ready to come for you. It's going to be such an interesting and fun year. Today, we are diving into the energies of 2024. And I wanted to do this because I really feel called to share what I am receiving, what I'm hearing, what I'm sensing as the energetic trends, as the energetic vibrations as we come into this new year, so that you can navigate the coming months with a sense of internal balance, internal centeredness, and really, I keep seeing this image of the calm within the storm. So I'm sharing these with you so that you can come back to these throughout the year as a reminder of what is happening in the collective, both externally and internally. We're also going to feel this on a personal level. It's going to show up in some way on a personal level, and how we all manifest these energies is unique unto us, but we are all experiencing these energies. For example, I experienced the energies in December, which were very much about letting go of old ways, letting go and clearing out space, so that you can come into a new way of being, a new way of doing. I experienced that energy within my business. And so I cleared out a lot of things that weren't working for me in my career and in how I show up and what I share. But a lot of other people that I've talked to experience that within their relationships, within their self-love practices, and their relationship to themselves. So the energy manifested differently within each life, but the energy itself is what we're all experiencing. Now, I receive these messages in a bunch of different ways. I receive them from my guides. So when I sit down and channel, it's a clear channel to my guides. And when I'm not sitting down intentionally channeling, I'm always receiving words. I'm always receiving images. I'm always receiving sound and color and references. Sometimes it comes in a symbol. Sometimes it comes in art and images. So I took the time to sit down and connect to my guides and really sift through it all. And I came up with 9 themes, 9 energies. And then I went to set and fact check, which means I went to my mentors, my leaders that I look to for guidance, and I talked to them and I listened to them and found that these energies are common across a lot of different spiritual leaders that are receiving the same messages. And so for me, that actually, one of my limiting beliefs is that since it's coming through for so many people, I don't have to share it. So this is me sharing what I receive in my own unique way and moving past that limiting belief. So as always, I hope you enjoy the ride. So bring your hands and feet inside the car and let's get started. So the first energy I want to talk about is this one that we're already seeing play out in the collective, in the world. And for me, I keep hearing Vive la Révolution! And I keep seeing images of Joan of Arc and old paintings from Michelangelo and Bosch, and this imagery of a revolution between the political and the spiritual. And if you go back in time, this has happened before. So this isn't a new story. This is a cycle that we as humans go through, and we go through and we grow through. And so that's really going to become more prevalent in the coming year. There's going to be so much energy of destabilization. We're going to see this not only with the planets, but with solar flares and the energy hitting the planet. We're going to feel it in our body. We're going to experience physical symptoms like anxiety, sleeplessness, those spiritual symptoms that are signs that we are changing. There is a revolution already happening. And how that is going to play out both globally and personally is going to really be shown in whether you resist it or learn from it and move through it. Resistance is always the path to pain. And the more we can learn to surrender to this process, the more and the faster we can learn the lessons we are meant to learn so that we can up level into a new evolution of humanity. That's another word I keep hearing is evolution. We really are in this time of leadership developing from the bottom up. Each of us is being called to become the best version of ourselves, to become the best aligned self with our soul's purpose and with our soul's expression. That was something I very much heard a lot of last year, was stepping into alignment, stepping into the soul's truest expression, removing the layers of the onion, the unlearning, so that you can step into this really empowered and unique version of yourself. Because the leadership, the constructs that we have been living by are crumbling. And so it's time for each of us to step into that place for not only ourselves, but for our family, for our loved ones, for our relationships. And if we all do that, we create a revolution from the bottom up. So that's the energy number one. And as we go through these energies, I think you'll find that they really are all connected, as everything is. As everything is. So one will lead to the other, and the last one may lead to the first one. And so as we go through the year, it's a process of cycling through these things and unsheathing over and over and over again to grow over and over and over again. And that really actually brings us to the second energy that is coming through, is that it's really going to support massive, massive shifts, quantum shifts, fast, new timelines happening instantly. If you are open to it and you release that resistance, I believe that with one shift, I can instantly change my reality. And that is how you move timelines. Moving timelines is not, it's not a physical thing. It's not a three-dimensional thing. Moving timelines is as easy as shifting your perspective. And if you look at this from the perspective of a graph, and you can see this in business too, but personally, changing timelines is as easy as making a new choice. Say you start here, right? And over a month, you get to here. The faster you make a decision, you're going to change the trajectory of your reality. And so if nothing changes, you're just going to get over here. Versus if you make a choice day 2 that changes your direction, you're going to end up over here, right? Versus again, if you wait till day 15, day 30 before you make that choice, what's going to happen? You're going to end up in a completely different place again. And so the faster you can make these changes, the faster that you can make these perception shifts, knowing how to do this is going to quantum leap, because the energy is going to support new ways of manifestation. Letting go of the old paradigm, letting go of the old beliefs, letting go of the old cycles, and moving into a clear and concise new way of being. And of course, if you want to learn how to do this, one of the most greatest ways of doing it is understanding your perspective and your consciousness through the ELI, which is the Energy Leadership Index. This is a really fascinating way to take the intangible, which is your perspective, and turn it into a tangible metric so that you can see how you are perceiving and experiencing the world around you. It's not set in stone. And that's so wonderful about the ELI, is that when you know how you are perceiving the world, it then empowers you to be able to make that new choice. So that in 6 months from now, your energy looks completely different. And so if you're interested in learning about that, you can click the link below and set up your free connection call with me to learn about how you can access this amazing tool to help you shift your life instantly. Energy number 3 is deepening and opening of interdimensional relationships. And so what does this mean? This means that we are going to learn how to deeply trust the intangible. We are going to learn that the universe is and wants only the best for us. And we're going to be able to trust that on a deeper level. Because as we go through this, and I'm hearing my guides say this right now in real time, as we go through and constantly release, surrender, grow, release, surrender, grow, integrate, evolve, we're going to see the proof of what is manifested is actually more enjoyable, more delightful, and more aligned with who we are as individuals. And this year, that energy, spirit is going to be louder and more easily accessible. Ooh, that sounds fun, doesn't it? That is going to create a spiritual awakening. From personal experience, I can say when there is a rapid spiritual awakening like I had back in 2017, which was 7 years ago, I thought I was going batshit crazy. Not going to lie. Suddenly I was receiving, I was channeling, suddenly I was opening to more. And I really thought like I was having a mental breakdown. But what I hear now from my guides is that the more you open to receive, the more you are given. And it just becomes this process of expansion, opening, receiving more love, receiving more joy. And you might have an amazing life full of love and joy, but you can still open to more. And to do that, it's opening the channels of the body, regulating the nervous system so that you can come back into that place of centeredness and attune yourself to the new vibration of more abundance, more joy, to be able to hold that vibration. That's the work. That's the work. Which of course, I love how this is flowing here. The fourth energy is knowing how to self-regulate, releasing that resistance. Because like I said earlier, the fastest way to pain is to resist the growth. You see this in nature with animals that literally expand and outgrow their skin, their shell. A snake will shed its skin, a lizard will shed its skin, a crustacean will wiggle out of its shell as it's growing. And they don't resist it. They don't feel that constriction and go, nope, I'm done. I'm not growing anymore. Right? Or, oh, I'm a victim. I'm growing and I don't want to grow, or it's not feeling good. So I'm just going to ignore it and I'll do it next year. That's not how nature works. That's not how we work. We might not shed our skin, but we grow spiritually. And so we must learn how to self-regulate the nervous system so that as we grow, we don't panic. We don't run away from it. We don't avoid it. We don't get triggered into that fight or flight. Because that is where the pain, the struggle, the disease, dis-ease, and eventually disease is created. So things that you can do are maintaining an open heart. And trust me, I know how that sounds. It can be very difficult to maintain an open heart when you're going through the shit. And you can set yourself up for 15 minutes of relief a day. You can do it through breath. You can do it through intention. You can do it through sound. You can do it through grounding, literally putting your bare feet, or sitting on the ground. That's going to draw all the electric energy, especially like unnatural electric energy out of your body so that you can then come back into the center. Things like this, you don't take a lot of time. Cacao, I will be honest, I spent a lot of time drinking cacao in December. But that's what my body was wanting, because cacao is such a beautiful heart opener. And I was feeling so much fear and so much pain that sitting with a beautiful mug of cacao and breathing and releasing, oh, it felt like the most loving and um, nurturing, and really just the only thing I could do at that point. Everything else was out of my control, but I could control what I was doing for myself on the inside. And so if you don't know how to regulate your nervous system, there's so many practitioners out there. There's so many free tools on YouTube, on Insight Timer. You can find breath work at your local community center. You can do Qigong. You can do all of these things that will help you come back to your center. And so I think the best way, especially if you're just starting out with this practice, is to write a list of all the things that you love and that help you self-regulate. Write a list of, let me rephrase that, healthy ways to self-regulate. Because it's so easy to grab a bottle of wine, grab a 6-pack of beer. Like for me, my pantry door is always open, and it's so easy to just eat. I did a 3-day water fast over Christmas break, and that was really one of the things that for me came up. It was that I eat food as a way to self-regulate my nervous system. And I do it when I'm bored. I do it when I'm stressed. And so now I know that I can take my list and say, okay, instead of munching, what else can I do? Can I do 15 minutes of breath work? Can I do 15 minutes of journaling? Can I do 10 minutes of going outside and just taking a break? All of these things will help come back into the center so that you can become, and I'm going to come back to this image time and time again, probably this year, is this centered, peaceful being in the eye of the hurricane, in the eye of the storm. Because with the destabilization, it is going to be so noisy out there in however it manifests. There's going to be a lot of noise. Creating a space of peace for yourself, creating a practice of peace for yourself, will allow you to move within the eye of the storm. And that, my friend, that's where it's at. The next energy this year, and I'm going to pull out a book. Which I cannot believe I still have this book. It's like 50 pounds. I don't know if you guys know this, but when I first went to university, I was a fine arts major, and I was going to teach art history. And I love art history. I love how art has captured the experience of being human throughout the centuries, whether it be in our architecture, whether it be in our paintings. And now, I mean, social media is our new medium for art, to be a creator. And I love that. But anyways, I digress. Pulling out this book. Ooh. Seriously weighs. It's the art, or the history of art. And I keep seeing this image in my mind, which is the Last Judgment. And maybe I will cut to a clip of an image of the Last Judgment. It's by Michelangelo, and it's in the Sistine Chapel. And I actually saw this when I was in high school, I took a Western civilizations class and we went to Italy. And it was, I have to go back because at 16, like you can't really fully appreciate the depth of what you're seeing. But in the Sistine Chapel, Michelangelo did this painting of the blessed and the damned all together, all begging God for deliverance. And I keep seeing this image of really a division of humanity. And like I said at the beginning, we have to all become our own leader. And there's this rise this year of the spiritual leader happening because more and more people are seeking those who are already tuned in and available to source energy, which is ultimately love, unconditional love and expansion. And so as we go through this, the rise of the light worker is going to be more and more sought after. And the light worker, quote unquote, light worker, isn't necessarily somebody who is devotionally being a spiritual leader or a healer or, you know, anybody like that. It can also be, you know, the kind person at the corner store who helps those in need. It could be, you know, your best friend who's always there for you. Being a light worker doesn't necessarily mean you're holding space for millions of people, but it means that you're capable of alchemizing all of the dense energy and transforming it into light through action, through being, through just consciousness. And this year, we're really going to start to be able to see and recognize those people. I've referred to this book in the past, but let's see, do I have it on my bookshelf? It's here somewhere. Yeah, there it is. Power versus Force by David R. Hawkins. This is the book, guys. It's really, it's a really beautiful book because it really outlines how vibrational energy impacts the people around us. And there's a graph in here that shows one person holding a vibration. Let's see if I can find it. Here it is. One person holding a vibration of love impacts tens of thousands of people around them, offsets that energy of density. Oh, I thought I saw it, but I did not. You know, 100 people holding that energy of love, holding that consciousness of collaboration, of joy, offsets 1 million people. And so if you're feeling like you're a light worker, all you have to do is be yourself, because this is your soul's purpose. All you have to do is experience what lights you up, what creates joy in your life, whether that's hanging out with the kids or whether that's stepping on stage and sharing your story with hundreds of people. Your energy offsets, it inspires others, it's contagious. It's literally contagious. And that's what a light worker is here to do. Sometimes I know personally, I battle with this idea of like, I have to do more. I have to impact on a bigger level because I'm here to change the world. But we don't necessarily have to change the world by creating big ripples. We can impact and change the life of one person, and we've changed the world. And that is a truth, capital T truth, that we all need to remember. So that actually takes us into number 6. I'm going to put this book away because it's super heavy. It's a doorstopper, that one. So number 6 is the re-emergence of what was hidden will now be seen. There is no more doubt in the existence of otherworldly creatures. Interdimensional travel, space travel, and connection to beings outside of this realm and planet will start to happen. And we're already starting to see this. I actually saw a video the other day of one of the giant telescopes in outer space recorded the wavelengths of artificial light on another planet, billions of light years away. And so we're going to start to see more and more proof and experience more and more close encounters with these beings. And I don't want people to panic. I don't want, like, if you want to roll your eyes, go ahead and roll your eyes. It's totally okay. Because you will be shown what you're ready to see. Period. You will attract through your openness what you are ready to receive. And the more you are receiving, the more you are given. And so ask yourself, do I want to know this? That's totally up to you. No judgment if you don't. Right? And sometimes shock value in a lesson, we may not want it in the moment, but it's exactly what we need. So this is what I'm getting. You can take it or leave it, my friends. Number 7 is, and I spoke of this a little bit at the beginning, is as the planet is receiving all of these higher frequencies, solar flares are happening. Like in December, we had one of the biggest solar flares that we have ever experienced. It was like off the charts. And I know because like my body is super sensitive to this energy. Like, dude, there was one day I was on the floor, like in pain without with no real reason to be in pain, but like my joints felt like I was being pulled apart. And I looked at the Schumann frequencies afterwards, and of course, like there's the proof, there's the energy coming in. And you can get apps, by the way, if you want to follow these things that I think there's a NASA one, and I have one on my phone, and it shows you. I mean, solar flares take a few days to get here. And so you can know within a few days when the energy is going to hit, when it's coming, so that you can be prepared for it. And things that you can do to maintain your balance. Like I said earlier, grounding this year is going to be a huge theme. Especially, and grounding. Okay, so grounding, strengthening the root chakra is going to be a huge theme, especially when the winds of the solar flares are happening. If you think of trees, I always refer back to nature because she's such an incredible teacher. If you think of trees, they root down into the earth. And when the wind blows in the forest, it's not the base of the trunk that's moving, it's the top of the tree that's swaying. And yet it's still deeply grounded into the earth. And as we receive these new energies, we're receiving them for a purpose. Our bodies are upgrading. We are getting new information, new light into our cells, and our bodies are upgraded. And so rooting this year into the ground so that you can move with it, sway with it, instead of breaking and falling over, is going to be really important. Health is going to be key for you to receive. And this is something I've been talking about for a long time, is that the body is magnificent and wants to heal. It's just what it does. The body is always wanting to be in optimal health. And it's how we treat the body with the fuel that we put in it, the food that we put in it, with how we hydrate, with the toxins that we put on our skin, all of those things. It's kind of like putting regular gas in a sports car. The engine's going to run, but it's not going to run its best, right? And so health is going to be key to be able to receive these codes. So cleansing the body. And I think, intuitively, my body knew in December that I needed to cleanse out my body. And so that's why I did a 3-day water fast. And I'm going to be doing that every 4 months for the entire year. And so I'll invite you right now, if you want to do a water cleanse in April, you can follow along here or join me on social media or join one of my subscription lists and get that information as it comes. Because it's really about cleaning the body of those impurities so that you can evolve with ease, so that you can be tuned into the body on such a deep level that you know exactly what's going on. Because the body is always talking to us. The body has an incredible language. And when you're able to tune into that, it's no longer, it's a relationship with the body. And it's very, very powerful and very, very beautiful. And as this year, our bodies upgrade and evolve, they're going to be able to hold more light. They're going to be able to hold more information so that we can receive more information. And yeah, that's that. Next, next energy is, I'm hearing purpose and flow a lot right now. Align and flow, align and flow. And this is alignment with who you are, alignment with who you are meant to be, who your soul, and here's the distinguishing factor here. So often our mind, the human personality, dictates what it is we are meant to be doing. And that's the old way. It's now time to hear and tune into the soul to be able to align with your purpose and how you are meant to live in this life, creating new ways of being. This connects back to, why we're receiving more light codes, because we're going to be receiving more information. We're going to be receiving innovative and new ideas. And many, many, many of us are going to be taking action steps to create those ideas into life, into the physical manifest. Which takes me to the last one. God, I love it how this all just flows together sometimes. That's just so perfect. Is number 9 is creational energy is going to be incredibly powerful this year. Innovation is going to be supported. This comes back to the number 2 is moving fast, manifesting. So be really clear and concise. So connect to your soul. Innovate. Learn from the past. Look to the future. Look to where there's gaps. Look to where we need support and leadership in the world, and innovate to create new. This is going to be really, really supported in the collective. Whether it's on a personal level or whether it's on a huge stage, these are the themes that are going to be coming out this year. And it's going to be really interesting to see how these things manifest. To see how resistance plays out, to see how revolution and ingenuity and visionaries come to the forefront, to create new systems, to create new ways of living and being, to consciously bring together people in collaboration to set new foundations for us as we move on and evolve as human species. I'm feeling really optimistic about this year now. If you had asked me in December or even like 2 weeks ago what was going to be happening, I was very much in that you got me kind of energy. I don't know, can't see it right now. But this has all come through now, and it's feeling really interesting. So, like always, bring your hands and feet inside the car and enjoy the ride. Take it day by day. Take it, create your vision, especially, you know, what do you want a year from now? What do you want 5 years from now? Where do you want to be in 10 years from now? And start building the habits, building the beliefs, building the systems, building the foundation. I always go back to that, you know, that old story is like, you are the architect of your life. Your life has been a mix match of experiences and stories, and you can live your future by living in your past and recreating your past by doing the same thing over and over again. Or you can deconstruct it. You can take it apart. You can look at each piece and say, does this serve me? Does this align with who I am now? I've grown, I've changed. And then you can put together a new foundation. You can do that as many times as you want. You can do that monthly, you can do that yearly. Depends on how fast you're growing. Right now, it's going to be fast. Like a slip and slide. You can either fall on your butt or you can have fun doing it. So my beautiful friends, I'll put that link down below for the ELI if you are interested in learning how you are perceiving the world through your unique lenses of consciousness. And get out there, have fun. Happy New Year, my friends. We'll see you next time.